in
Killed her.
escape room. Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed killing her. It was fun.
Well, welcome back from the dead, Amanda.
Thank you. It's not the first time.
And
How this year is going, it might not be the last.
I think probably.
and
Has
Nicholas,
anybody seen the primetime movie Uncle Frank or whatever it's called? You guys heard about it?
No.
It's supposed to be so good. It's supposed to be such a tearjerker.
No. I am watching nothing but the Great British Bake Off right now. I am obsessed. It's unbelievable how good it is. And the gay boys are winning left and right. Really.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Well, good evening, America, and welcome to It's Happening Out, the world's most popular live gay television talk show. And it's 8 p.m. and it's Wednesday, so you know what that means. It's December 2nd, and I'm your anchor, Al Ferguson. So let's start by meeting tonight's host at It's Happening Out. First up, as always, original host, and this is Power Infiniti. He pays me extra to say that, by the way, original host of It's Happening Out. He's a hybrid diva DJ. Good evening, Power.
Hey, y'all. As you guys can see, you guys are shaming me by putting my picture up on the left of me, and I'm here out of makeup. But you know, they don't have that in the budget this year.
Yeah, I guess not. And next up is Faye. What? She's a radio host and has a popular YouTube channel. Good evening, Faye.
Hola, mi gente. What's up? Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, it's going to be fun tonight. And this is first time at It's Happening Out as a host. This is Nicholas Wendling. He has 15 years experience as a restaurant industry top management expert for a national restaurant chain. He is retired, and I say I want his job because he's traveling around the country in his RV with his dog Zeus. Welcome, Nicholas.
Oh.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here, and it's an incredible experience.
Yeah, great. And this is Amanda Austin. First time, Amanda and I have known each other for a while. First time here at It's Happening Out, one of South Florida's most beloved drag queens and entertainers. She is an institution for the world famous drag themed restaurant Lips here in Fort Lauderdale, South Florida. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Could we throw up more promotional items up around your face or what?
And you too can have a mug with Amanda's face on it for only
That's right.
$19.99.
And next up is Keisha Shad, health promotion peer navigator at Care Resource, one of our best HIV and medical not-for-profits here in South Florida, and a board member at Unity Coalition. I have my mask here with him. Welcome, Keisha.
Happy holidays, everybody. There's some ho-ho-hos in this house.
And are you one of them?
Absolutely, the top dollar.
Exactly. All right. So, good evening, America. We are the first and most popular live LGBTQ talk show in the world. So much to talk about. Next on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Well, you're watching a live and unedited LGBTQ talk show, so anything can happen, and I hope it does, 'cause that's when it really gets fun for me. And with this motley crew, I'm going to poke and poke. If you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and click the bell for updates. And if you're on Facebook, like us and share the video and start a watch party. It's super easy. Here's how you do it. Watch this.
Please click share. After clicking share, your screen should change and you can then click watch party. On the next screen, you can write text to your viewing audience and then click start watch party. You've done it. Enjoy your party.
Well, let's begin the show with, as we have always done in the 2.5 years that we've done this show, or a little over 2 years for sure. Let's begin with the meme of the week. And it is called something very topical overnight, Elliot Page, I'm Gay. And we're showing you this video of now named Elliot Page. The news yesterday was incredible as Elliot Page announced he was trans and they were the chosen pronouns for Elliot. Oscar-nominated star of Juno, many famous movie roles, and on the eve of the announcement of Netflix Season 3 of The Umbrella Academy. Elliot came out in 2014, which is what this video meme is showing, and now it's announced he is trans. What do y'all think about the hundreds and hundreds of memes that came out overnight on the announcement yesterday? What do y'all think?
I'm loving the memes. The more visibility, the better. Love the memes. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
I must be sleeping because that's the first one I've seen.
Have you?
Oh, really?
I've been on social media all day today, and that's the first one I've seen.
Yeah. No, that's the problem when you say you're on social media. We're not talking about OnlyFans. That's a little bit different.
You caught me.
Or Pornhub, you know.
Any other thoughts about Elliot?
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And it's disheartening to see some of the stuff, right? It's a hard enough time for her. Like, let him have his privacy and go through this process, and let's not,
It's
any more
interesting.
difficult than it has to be for her.
We're going to do an entire celebrity topic tonight on Elliot, and I want to remember to come back to that because I make that mistake all of the time. It's not an intentional mistake, but I make that mistake all of the time, and it's something that I think we should talk about when we get there. Let's move on out of our meme, unless anybody else has anything else. Let's move to how I love to start the show, and it's called our game I'd Swallow That. It's a drinking
Thank
game.
God.
Exactly, and it makes power more tolerable for me. So I'm going to play our drinking game. It's a yes or no game called I'd Swallow That. As you know, we invite you at home to play along with us, and I'm going to ask all of these hosts 4 questions, and if they agree, they take this shot. We are all shotted up, ready. I'm doing Tennessee whiskey, and if they disagree, well, it's going to be a long night for Al. Everybody
I'm
ready?
doing red moonshine.
Nice.
Great. Good, because then I'm going to enjoy you even more. Let's play I'd Swallow That. Let's begin. Question number 1. I'd swallow that. I had a great Thanksgiving.
Cheers.
Everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I'm surprised because
I
I was
didn't drink.
expecting. Yeah, I'm going to come to you on that. I thought most people were going to go in COVID. No, not so much. What made it great?
Netflix.
Like the day before Thanksgiving, and the day before that, and the day before that, the day before that, and then month before that. And
I have a job, so I don't always have the luxury of being at home. But yeah, Netflix and Hulu, it was on.
What'd you watch on Netflix?
Little Fires Everywhere.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, all right. I'm watching a lot of Netflix too. I was just saying in our little pre-show warm-up, The Great British Bake Off. I'm obsessed. It is so amazing. I can't believe I like a baking show about cakes and cupcakes and cookies, and the gay boys are just kicking everybody's ass. I'm loving it, loving it.
I baked a pie on Thanksgiving. So I guess I
You
put that in the
baked a
show.
pie in your RV?
Well, I used a friend's home
Oh.
at the place I was staying.
That's
And by
cheating.
friend, do you mean Trick?
No, not trick.
Where
That
were
is-
you for Thanksgiving? It's going to be that kind of night. Where were you? And now you're camping all over America.
Yep.
Yeah, where were you camping at?
So I was at Sawmill Campground.
Oh,
It was a trick.
Ah, how
girls.
convenient.
Yeah, see, Amanda immediately goes, oh, I know what treat you were at. Right?
But for me, it was great Thanksgiving because although it wasn't traditional with my family, it was more like the original Thanksgiving, just having a meal and giving thanks with complete strangers for all the great blessings in our lives. So.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm going to have to get you to drink a little more, for sure. Power, you said your Thanksgiving was good. Why was it good?
Well, first and foremost, I think that mine was good as well as it should be for almost everybody that is here, alive and in the land of the living. I mean, for that and that reason alone, my Thanksgiving was good. So many of us started out this year not knowing that we wouldn't be here at this point, and we are still here. So that in and of itself is why my Thanksgiving was good. And I shared it with my husband and our cats and dogs, and it was quiet and comfortable.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. And Amanda, yours was great. That's what the shot was for. Yours was great because
Yeah, mine was great. Thursday was. It was a very calm day. I went to the beach to one of the restaurants that overlooks the ocean, and we sat on the second floor and had a fabulous lunch, just the two of us. And it was relaxing. I got a little buzz and went home and went to sleep. So it was fun.
that sounds fun. Were you in drag or out of drag?
No, I was not in drag.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. And drag's only an entertainment
Correct.
performance.
If there's not a paycheck, you don't get a win.
Yeah, no money, no drag. Wait, are you RuPaul?
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
Just a little younger and I guess.
And what else? Were you
I was going to say a
prettier?
little. No. I was going to say a little less conservative, but.
Oh, okay. And Faye, you didn't take the shot.
I didn't take the shot. No, well, you know, it was, did you have a great Thanksgiving? I had an okay Thanksgiving. I had an Thanksgiving. I went to go see my mother-in-law, and then, you know, we ate some food, and then we went home.
Yeah.
So now I'm stuck with a pecan pie, a pumpkin pie, a tres leches, a bread pudding that I'm eating all by myself because we had no Friendsgiving, so I'm like a fat girl.
You could have
It's
brought
bad.
it here.
You were
I would have ate
definitely
it.
Yeah. Is it in the freezer? You can bring it on.
That's
brought it
why
to work
I
with you
posted.
today.
That's why I posted today, honey. If you eating Thanksgiving today, you getting worms. If you eating Thanksgiving leftovers today, you getting worms. Throw that shit away, girl.
That's right. Think about that. Every mouthful that you take now. All right, let's move on. I'd swallow that. Question number 2. I'd swallow that. Donald Trump officially is going to be remembered as one of the worst human beings in history.
Period.
All in all of it.
Period. Planetary history.
I want to slurp this.
Yeah, I can't.
All right. So everybody, I'm going to save Nicholas. Everybody took the shot. Power's still.
Power's downing the bottle.
Well, let's start with Power. Power, you and your good friend, Donald Trump, I know, see, this is all an act. It's like, Amanda, you don't know this. You have your shtick in your entertainment field. Power has his too, and his is, I hate Donald Trump, but secretly they're best friends. I think and suspect highly that Power went up to Mar-a-Lago and had Thanksgiving dinner with him. Oh, he
Well,
was a
all the money that's being poured into his slush fund, him and I are going to be splitting it. You guys don't know that. But
They had a COVID turkey together.
As for the shot, honey, I had to down the whole thing because is he going to be remembered as the worst president ever in history? Ever.
Yeah, and I just
And that's
remind
not the
you, Power,
question, though. It's
the
not.
question is going to be remembered as one of the worst humans in history. He's in a much broader
Ever. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed.
Exactly.
My answer's still the same. Ever.
Yeah, I took the shot quickly. Before I come back to Nicholas, because I'm dying, because he did not. Anybody else? He's the be-all of be-alls.
He is. The one thing that he does 100% is that he's an equal opportunity offender. There is no one out there that he hasn't been a mean or a bad human being to. Think about it. So, yeah.
How do you lie to America, to your base, to your most loyal friends and supporters that don't even personally know you, and raise $170 million since November 4th, which is what he's done, to continue to fight the good fight in the courts, but the little asterisk in the fine print says the money can stay with him personally and he can spend it whatever way he wants?
Well, he's never been great with money, and he's never been great with the truth. So, you know, somebody who has since 2016 talked about Hillary's emails, it's Obama's fault, and Sleepy Joe, he just needs to go on ahead and get on somewhere and get another job. Hopefully the handcuffs are not too tight, though.
It's a perfect transition to have Nicholas tell us why he didn't take the shot.
Though he may be an asshole. Sorry, can I say that?
You can
An
say
orange
that.
asshole.
Yeah.
One of the worst human beings everywhere. I would not put Donald Trump in the same category as Hitler and
Well, were we talking about alive
And-
or? Let me
any of
stop.
those
Power's
people.
face
So
going.
to say put him down as one of the worst human beings ever, no.
We just saw Nicholas, by the way, because I can read Power like a book. You just saw him turn into Scooby-Doo over instantaneously.
Well, that's what you're doing, right? If you're saying he's one of the worst human beings everywhere, you're putting him in the same category as Hitler, Napoleon, all these mass genocidal people that have lived throughout history.
All
So
right.
I
Well,
wouldn't put him in that category.
Without us getting into it, I think 5 of us did put him in that category. Frankly, we did. Let's move on to question number 3. I'd swallow that. All right, here we go. I'd swallow that. I am going to take the vaccine the moment it is available to me. The moment. Kind of a split. I'm going to take it. I've had COVID. Going to take it the moment it comes out. For Nicholas and Kishai, who took it. Kishai, why are you going to take it?
Well, as a worker in public health, I have been notified that the vaccine will be available to me and that it is recommended that I take it. I do have my concerns because I do believe vaccines do need time to prove ineffectiveness, but at the same time, as long as the studies validate that it's effective and safe, I am completely 100% okay with taking the vaccine.
And is that standard achieved by Britain approving the Pfizer vaccine today? And, do you have confidence that because Pfizer has been approved in Britain and in days, all of the news reporting today is that the FDA is going to approve Pfizer in just days, and Moderna right behind it. Does that give you confidence in terms of taking the vaccine?
It does. I think a little bit more time is needed, though. I wish that it didn't have to take a vaccine. I wish that governments and leaders really did the best they could to not only implement safer measures, but reassure folks that social distancing and quarantining is indeed effective, and that just because you don't like it doesn't make it fake or ineffective.
Right.
But the vaccines, I mean, too many people have died. I just don't want more people dying.
Yeah, and Amanda and Power, you say no, you don't take the shot because you're not going to take it, at least initially. What do you think about that? Why?
Well, I'm not going to take it the moment it's available. It's not even going to be available to me the moment it's available. Of course, people over 80 and in nursing homes and medical professionals, they're all going to be the first people who take it. I'm probably not even second or third in line because of my age and my pre-existing conditions. I feel okay with that because I've had COVID. I went through it. I feel like I have a little bit of immunity, maybe for another few months or even another year. And I think that there are other people that need it more than I do. I do plan on taking it once it is available to me, and I've seen, what some of the lasting effects and
So yours is a provisional no. How about you, Power? What are your thoughts about taking the vaccine?
Well, my thoughts about taking the vaccine are I will absolutely take it. Granted, and depending on the fact that everybody else doesn't drop dead. And that's what I'm going to be waiting for. I'm going to see who else takes it, who drops dead, what's the efficacy of it, and then I will then take it. Or if things go sideways, maybe not. But if I see that everybody else is okay, I just don't want to be the guinea pig. In Kishai's position, I definitely understand exactly what he said because he works. He's a health worker, and they should be taking it first. And I think that if I was in that position, I would also, go to the front of the line and be brave and take it. But I'm not in his position, so I have the luxury of being able to say, I'm just going to wait a while and see.
I'm curious, Power, does it make any difference to you, your husband, slightly different than you, older than you, if he fell into line next week to be able to be offered to take the Pfizer vaccine, would you recommend he do it?
Well, I don't think that they'll be running out. So I don't know if I would recommend that he be the first in line to take it. His health and his well-being is very important to me. And God forbid something happens with this vaccine that is a horrible side effect, and people, start dying or suffering from it. I just don't want him to be in that position. So I wouldn't recommend that he waits very long, but I would recommend that he waits a little bit. I mean, we've been isolated. We've been very safe. So I mean, a couple more weeks or months is not really going to make a difference with him.
Let me ask the question in a different way. I know I'm using a gigantic hypothetical. Thank you for playing along with me. But assume that your husband was offered the Pfizer vaccine next week, and you have to take it now, or you fall out of your rotation until we fold you back in again. Would you recommend you take it next week?
Okay, well, in that case, I would. When I answered, I said that that was on the premise that they're not running out anytime soon, and he could take it and have the luxury. But if it was now or almost never, then I would recommend he take it.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. I want to move on to our fourth question. I'd swallow that.
You didn't ask me about the.
Okay. Well, you have to jump in.
No, I'm sorry. 'Cause that's not the face that I'm giving you because I don't know what to do. It's just that my camera's frozen.
Yeah.
All right. So, my wife is a nurse practitioner, and she was also given that green light to sign up for the vaccine. And because of her underlying condition, she is not going to. So I hardly ever listen to my wife. And this time, I actually am. I'm going to wait a little bit before really considering it. If they have a vast.
Does your wife agree with that?
I don't care if she agrees or not. I'm going to do what I do.
Okay, and that's heard loud and clear. But if your wife was sitting here on the panel, and I turned to her and asked her exactly the way I just asked Power, would she say, Faye, take the damn vaccine?
She probably would say, Faye, take the damn vaccine.
Would she?
Yeah.
That's super interesting. And production's working on your camera, but right now that shot of you has never looked better.
It's a blank screen.
Yeah, I think that's what I just said. All right, let's move on to question number 4. Oh, so much shade's going to be thrown here tonight.
Girl, it's getting thick.
It's the kind of mood that I'm in. All right, question number 4. I'd swallow that. A New Year's Eve celebration is important to me this year. It's important.
Nah.
All right. Keisha, let's start with you because you and I, Power took it too. Okay. Keisha, why?
This is really the year of what we wanted it to be versus what it really was. And I think for me particularly, I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy I have my health. I'm appreciative for everything I have. And moving forward, I don't want to get ahead of myself and overplan. Life is really precious, so I will celebrate 2021 and live purposely.
Yeah, okay. And Power, it's important to you to celebrate this year, New Year's Eve?
Absolutely, and celebration doesn't mean I have to be in a packed club or, I have to be around a lot of people. Celebration, for me, it's going to mean myself and my husband in our isolated home, loving each other, but we have to celebrate because once again, I'm here. I made it. Yeah. And that in and of itself deserves celebration.
And in full disclosure, America, I have to tell you, I, along with about 1,100 other people, have already received our invitations to come up to Lakeland for Power's New Year's Eve party. So we're going to be there. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And for those of you who didn't take the shot, how come?
Oh man, I'm totally bah humbugged right now. I don't feel the season. I don't understand why one of my favorite radio stations is playing Christmas music 24 hours a day. Like I'm not in the spirit. I'm not. So I can't even think about New Year's Eve and partying. There's bigger fish to fry. I'm more worried about COVID than having a get together and all that kind of stuff.
And can I point out, America, remember, we told you that we are alive and unedited. Again, Faye has never looked.
Do you see that?
It's
a great shot.
It's like
why y'all doing that to my girl Faye?
Production's going crazy, and the more I poke, the better it gets.
She's back. She's back, honey.
All right, good. All right, let's move out of our game. I'd swallow that, and I'm sure we're going to talk more about the holidays and New Year's Eve. As in our next shows. We have, I think, 3 more shows in 2020, and this year is done. done. The turkey is finished. Happening Out Television Network and It's Happening Out sponsors some of the nation's most important LGBTQ events. You've seen many of them. We are proud to be partnering up with the Outshine Film Festival, December 3rd to 6th. Watch this.
This December,
the digital television sponsor, this time for the Outshine LGBTQ Film Festival Fort Lauderdale Virtual Edition. It's the longest title ever, by the way. Presented by Gilead Sciences and Broward County. The festival will showcase 21 world-class contemplative, comedic, and creative films from 11 countries, with several making their U.S. debuts during the streaming festival. Tickets are on sale now at outshinefilm.com. And I invite all of y'all to do that embracement after you've done 4 Jack whiskey shots. Good luck. All right, next let's look at what we call is the best thing of the week. And this week it's called Hunky Australian Firefighters.
Yes. Oh.
And they're back for a sexy Christmas video. Now we're going to show you this. We can't play the music that goes along with it because we're just too damn scared at It's Happening Out of Mariah Carey. She is way more masculine.
Yeah,
than I am.
copyright is not
Merry
cool.
Exactly. This is a beautiful calendar. I have seen the calendar. It's amazing. Hot firemen, puppies, all for charity. They've raised over $3 million since the inception of the Firefighters Australia calendar. And what more could we possibly want?
More of them.
Yes, exactly. What do y'all think about best thing of the week of hot men, firefighters, service, and puppies?
2 of my favorite things. Well, one of my favorite things, dogs.
I think I'm gonna light my RV on fire and hope they come put it out.
Yeah. You know, I agree with Faye. Dogs is I love dogs in every possible way.
There were dogs in this video?
A ton of them, Amanda.
Aww.
Look at that one.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't. No, that's too much cuteness. Too
Yeah.
much.
Power, how are you on firemen? Are you
Ooh,
good
hello.
on firemen?
Show me your hose.
Yes.
I guess we're having technical problems now with Power. We moved. He shouldn't have spoken up so quickly in defending.
God, what kind
Faye.
of dog is that?
That's what I was.
Jeez.
I think that's a little Rottweiler, the black and brown one. But I mean, these firemen would have me becoming an arson really quick.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I want those 2.
You'd go to prison for these boys? Is that what I just heard you say?
Yeah.
It's so cute. It honestly.
Oh my
it is
God,
just adorable.
jeez, wow.
In America, we reported this into Q News tonight earlier.
Oh.
You can purchase this calendar all over the world. They're selling it all over the world. And in fact, I read an article yesterday that it is more popular outside of Australia than it is in Australia. So awesome.
Look, Power, you saw the cat?
I do.
Oh, there's a
Jingle
few
balls,
I love,
baby,
Kat.
jingle balls.
I'm definitely going to
Love
make a
cats.
trip down under.
Yeah.
Somebody had to do the down under pun.
Really?
Someone had to do it.
They saw
somebody had
Cat
to
and got
do it.
excited.
Thank you,
so-
Nicholas.
Exactly. All right. All of you thirsty people, stop talking long enough for me
Right
to
here.
be able to slip in. Next, we are going to catch up with news from Hollywood and the world of entertainment. We call it Celebrity Hot Topic of the Week. And man, is it busting the news overnight. Led everything this morning in all of the national news in America. Oscar-nominated Ellen Page announces he is trans and is now Elliot Page. What are the implications of the Instagram post that Elliot did yesterday afternoon? How is it going to affect his career in Hollywood? What is the impact on the LGBTQ world of his announcement? Because even our community sometimes has great difficulty with the T in the LGBTQ. And what are the implications on the straight community's acceptance of trans across our broad straight community vision? What do y'all think about what happened yesterday with Elliot?
I have to say, I was happy to hear the announcement because these conversations need to happen. I do believe more conversations will happen socially. I do believe visibility is very important. I am not trans myself, however, I am an ally, and I understand the more people who come forward, the more representation, the easier it gets, but the more that we are faced with the reality of who is out there. And I personally believe that Elliot is a very talented individual, has always spoken since they've come out, spoken very highly of the community and taken strides, actually done things publicly and proudly in favor of the community. So I only hope that Elliot being openly trans is going to allow more trans people to have the platform that they so deserve because they are the most vulnerable of our community.
Other thoughts?
Well said.
I want to say I congratulate him. And I think that this is a proud and wonderful step that he's taking. And I want to say this very carefully. I don't want anybody to misconstrue my words. In my circle, in my bubble, I'm not saying in the world, I'm saying in my galaxy, this is not really a big deal. And I don't say that to be flippant or to be dismissive. That's actually a good thing. Because in my world, my circle, my friends, my universe, there are so many that have embraced their transhood, I guess, embraced their real identities, that every day there's more and more friends, more and more people that come out and proudly say, I am trans, I am he, I am her, I am they. And so for us, it's not a big deal anymore. It's like, oh, great, we're very happy for you. But I think it's a bigger deal to those that are not used to this, to those that do not see this, and to those that actually really need this visibility to shine into their faces and into their light so that they can be educated, and so that this can be more normal and something that is more supported by the rest of the world. So I'm very happy for him, but I'm very glad that in my world it's not a big deal.
You know, I want to focus back to what we did when we seeded the conversation when we were at the meme. One of us tonight, by accident, Nicholas, yes, makes the mistake in the use of which pronoun. And I have done that 10,000 times. 10,000 times I've done that. It's never intentional. It is either whatever the reasons are. It's not intentional, and continuing to try to educate myself. An interesting thing happened yesterday after Ellen Page made the announcement of Elliot Page. Netflix has season 3. They're just on the verge of the announcement of the exact of Umbrella Academy 3, which means that it's super topical because 3 is going to come out, but all of the branding is completed, assuming Elliot notified Netflix in advance of the announcement. And Netflix said, we're going to need some time in terms of modifying, naming in terms of the imaging for season 3 and how we're going to do whatever we're going to do on season 1 and season 2. they received a substantial amount of criticism in social media that today they're displaying Ellen Page. Now, where do we balance the political correctness with the celebration and Power's observation? It's not a really, in his circle, he was really clear of how he explained it. It wasn't a really big deal. How do we move forward if not in education? So when we make natural mistakes, but there's a difference in an intentional, discriminatory or hurtful approach versus natural mistake, how do we balance something like this, like what we heard yesterday from Elliot Page? What do y'all think about that?
You don't make it a big deal. If you make a mistake, you apologize and you keep it moving. You ask questions. That's how you educate yourself. I've not met one trans person that would be opposed to answering a question. I mean, come on, seriously. And speaking about her acting career, I mean, his acting career, see, as you can see, it happens all the time. I think that he's going to be putting up a fight in America in his acting field with his transitioning.
I think it's, Netflix acknowledged, right, the situation, and they said they would need some time, and things can't happen overnight in that world, right? So for them to receive criticism, I think, is just ridiculous about the American community. I mean, they acknowledged it, they said they were working towards it, right? And so give them the time. If they had just ignored it and put up promotions as Ellen, then yes, I would say they should be criticized, but absolutely not. And I disagree with Powers that it is important to the whole world because of what's happened in the trans community this year and all the violence, that a celebrity coming out as trans is a big deal, and hopefully we can move past, anytime a celebrity comes out as gay or trans, it helps the community long term. It makes it easier for people. It eases that process. So, and Mark
Where's the
Edwards,
disagreement?
he
Yeah,
will be the first person to be nominated for both. Have been nominated for Actress of the Year.
Where's the disagreement?
Someday he will be nominated for Actor of the Year.
He doesn't have a...
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry,
well,
Peter.
tell him to put his thing in so he can hear me, so he can answer this question.
Yeah.
Where's the disagreement? We haven't disagreed on that. So where's the disagreement? You said you disagreed with me.
I thought you said you did not feel it was a big deal that.
Yeah.
Only in
What
their
I said-
world, in their
I think
circle.
it's a huge deal.
What I said was in my circle. I was very clear. I said in my circle among my friends. I did say that for the rest of the world, I think that this is a big deal, and I gave the reasons why. So we are not in disagreement at all.
Yeah, then you're correct. We totally agree.
Yeah.
I wonder if it would have been such a big deal, though, if he had not transitioned and lesbian Ellen had gotten married and changed her name, and they had to do the same thing on all the branding. Would it have been such a backlash?
Yeah, probably.
I would like to two things I would like to say. First, I think that Al was asking a question. We were asking, how do we think it's going to affect him in the long term when it comes to acting? As much as we celebrate it, I've seen time and time again that when people come out as gay or transgender, you tend to see them taper off in their visibility on stage and on screen. So I'm very much hoping that this does not negatively affect his acting career. Also, the other thing is that Faye said, well, I've never met a trans person that doesn't want to answer questions. Unfortunately, I have. So I would like to address that I would like to address that, and I don't care who in the trans community gets upset over what I'm about to say, because I've said it publicly before. People need, sometimes when people ask questions, to be educated, I think that some in the trans, not all, I don't want to generalize, but some get offended by the very question. And we have to understand that we are still living in an age where right now the trans community is the newest thing in our community. They are the front lines, and they are the most talked about, and their fight is the newest struggle. So everything is still pretty new when it comes to our world, when it comes to the acceptance of trans. And you cannot have that acceptance unless people have education. Yeah. So when people ask questions, and they ask questions so that they can educate themselves and so that they can have some knowledge, I don't think that it is right for anybody that has that knowledge and can impart that knowledge to not only not do so, but to take offense and also offend others and attack others for simply asking. I just don't understand how that works.
No, I agree with you, but I think the education should not only go to cisgender heterosexual people, it also applies within the LGBT community.
For sure.
Because when I think of trans people, those are my friends, my coworkers, my relatives, my exes. I see trans people in all of the groups I just named, and I see them as a human being. A lot of people who are heterosexual and cisgender do not see them as human beings. However, within the LGBT community, there's so much misunderstanding and misinformation because it's not their journey and it's not their walk, so they won't understand. However, there also requires a bit of compassion and empathy towards from people who are not trans, right? Because while trans people, I believe they deserve to exist and live in their truth, they also should not be bombarded with judgment and questioning all the time. It's also up to the person who is not trans to do some learning also. Like, not every trans person is supposed to be your teacher, and we also shouldn't be telling them how to live and how to feel.
But they are, Kashai. They are. They have to be the teachers. They have to be the representation.
No, absolutely. But
they
shouldn't. I don't think anyone should coddle and hold hands of each person and walk them through everything. I do believe that obviously asking questions leads to education. However, I do believe there are some people who blatantly say and do things just because they can.
You know.
Okay, but let me be clear again. What I said was I didn't say that I think that it is incumbent on every trans person to answer every question. That's not what I said.
And that wasn't in reference to any of you all. That was just actually me speaking to the audience, just because of my experience with other non-trans people. It's always like they feel like, well, I don't know, but a lot of them don't want to know.
Power, I think.
I don't think that trans people are obligated to answer questions. What I'm saying is that I just don't think that they should attack or feel insulted when people ask, and that's my
educated. Point. Yeah, and your point was clear. One final nuance. I'm curious if any of you have observation or comment about it. I read several very interesting posts today that challenged the process of Elliot Page and what it represents. And basically, there were a number of posts that basically said, we're discriminatory. I'll stop. Period. At the end. We're discriminatory. It doesn't matter if you're black, you're white, you're brown, you're a lesbian, you're gay, you're trans, you're bisexual, you're straight, you're gay. We're all discriminatory. And one of the proofs of this observation that a number of interesting posters said was, well, look at this situation with Elliot, because the situation in response to Elliot, and likely the response in terms of the entertainment industry, is if Elliot was a man that transitioned to a woman, would do likely much better than being a woman that is going to transition and is transitioning to a man. And that fact in and of itself is discriminatory. Yeah. What do y'all think about that?
Well, how do they know? Wait. I don't know. Maybe you guys can educate me. I don't know of any other high profile trans person that has gone besides Cher's son.
Oh no. Yeah.
No. Besides Cher's son that has gone from a female assigned at birth to a man. But Cher's son is not like somebody that is constantly in the public eye. It's not like he's working. It's not like he's acting. So he doesn't have
a lot more acting gigs since he transitioned.
Yeah,
has he? Right. Yeah, so I'm saying we don't really have too much. We don't really have too much examples to be able to compare and say, okay, well, for sure, Elliot is going to have it worse than, say, a male assigned at birth to a female. We don't know that. How do people know that? How can people?
We don't.
Well, because I believe when people, I think, like, when we think of the South Florida community and when I look at Hollywood, there's definitely more of a presence of trans women being at the forefront of everything, anything related to the transgender community. Generally, it's usually trans women who are speaking. There is an underrepresentation of trans men at the seat of the table of a lot of organizations here in South Florida, as well as in Hollywood, because yeah, Chaz Bono's really the only trans male I can think of off the top of my head. As for trans women, I mean, we have Carmen Carrera, we have Laverne Cox, MJ Rodriguez, India Moore, like the list goes on and on, Dominique Jackson. There's so many people, and even on Pose, we don't really see any trans men. It's mostly trans women.
And broadly, the observation in the Post is that likely the effect, and it was kind of alluded to in our conversation here, is that he will suffer effect in his career differently than if it was a male transitioning to a woman. That the innate reaction of being clocked and feeling femininity in the masculine role, in the masculine trans role, etc., that innate discrimination will kick in, and that's the observation that was made.
I think it's still I don't think it's still the same equation, because the other trans women and actresses that Kishai named, we knew when they came on the scene, we knew them to be trans. We didn't really know them from their assigned birth gender.
Well, aside from Carmen Carrera, but
right. So and Carmen Carrera is not like a big actress or whatever. Here's my prediction. I'm going to say it right now, and if I'm wrong, Jared Curry can roll it back. I predict that even if Elliot suffers a little bit in Hollywood, he's not going to suffer too much. He's such an incredible actor. He's such a strong actor and such a big actor. You're definitely going to see him on a lot of projects. And I think that a lot of writers and a lot of producers are going to want to have him, especially now that a lot of spotlight is put on him because of this. So I think he's going to do well.
Well,
anybody watch the show? Have you seen the?
Let's let that be the last word, because I want to push on into some other topics. But I think we can all agree, for sure, Elliot Page did it right, announced it correctly, said all of the right words, was super positive, and we wish him nothing but luck in what is going to be the next steps. So that's our discussion tonight in entertainment. Next, we report that the Happening on Television Network helps support our LGBTQ community in many different ways. And an example of this is right here where we're broadcasting with all of us right now at the Sunshine Cathedral. This is the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. We are broadcasting from our permanent set in supporting that partnership. The network broadcasts the largest LGBTQ religious broadcast in the entire world, with more than 30,000 watching the Sunday broadcast at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and it is totally live. We encourage you to tune in. Our campaign of sponsorship proudly supports Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church. Watch this.
Reverend Linda Pantoja. I'm 55 years old, out of Fort Lauderdale. I am Reverend Margarita Rodriguez. I'm 55 years old, out of Fort Lauderdale. Sunshine Cathedral is our queer church.
That was cute. We'd also like to thank our set designer, Concepto Modern Living here in Fort Lauderdale, for making this set in this amazing queer church campus possible. And finally, we'd like to thank Happening Out hotel sponsor, Best Western I-95 Fort Lauderdale. This is the closest and best choice to the famous Wilton Drive, and our host and our guests stay at this LGBTQ ally partner, and we encourage you to stay here when visiting South Florida. So next, let's move on to a segment we call What's on Your Mind. Each host is going to tell us something that is on their mind, but I'm going to ring a bell, only about 30 seconds, so they're going to be really concise. They're going to tell us what's important to them this week, but remember, in just 30 seconds, or you are going to hear the bell. And so let's start with Power. Power, what's on your mind?
Well, what's on my mind is probably gonna be a two-part now and another part another week. But I have become obsessed with finally confronting something that I have been avoiding for pretty much for 30 years, which is confronting and chasing down the truth of what the Bible says about homosexuality and the Bible. And it's because I've decided to, kind of focus my walk with God. And so therefore I've become obsessed with this, and I will let you guys know what I find out, but I am definitely researching it.
I want to have a topic of conversation, and it's happening out about religion. It's coming. Nicholas, what's on your mind this week?
What's on my mind this week is this vaccine. We've been saying for over a week now that it's days away from happening in the United States. And of course, England beat us to the punch and released it today, which I'm okay with. We don't have to be first, but we keep saying it's ready, we're going to release it. FDA, let's get it approved if we're going to approve it, or if it's not ready, cancel it and start over and get us a solution so life can get back to normal.
Right. And Faye, what's on your mind this week?
Stop messing up yummy food with pineapples. So I was super hungry the other day, right? I was super hungry. I came home from walking a bunch of dogs, and there was a pie at my house that a friend had brought, and I went and grabbed a slice, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to have this pizza. And it had pineapple. How do you do that? Why do you mess up pizza with pineapple? Then today I went to go buy some macaroni salad at little place, and I got macaroni salad with chicken in it. They put pineapple in it. Stop messing up yummy food with pineapple.
Don't mess with Faye's food. That's all I got to say. Amanda, what's on your mind this week?
Mine is the COVID vaccine as well. This kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier about people not taking it. That's what I'm worried about. I know it's going to be a while before it gets to everybody, but the experts are saying that in order for it to be effective, 70% of the people in the country have to take it. And I'm worried about big numbers of people that are not going to take it because they don't believe COVID is real, or they think that it's some sort of scam or scheme that someone has dreamed up to get inside their mind, or some other crazy fool.
Oh, that made me feel so good.
I did it just so you could ring the bell.
That's right. Kishai, what's on your mind this week?
So yesterday, December 1st, was World AIDS Day, and at Care Resource, we celebrate that every year, not only to honor the lives of those we've lost from HIV and AIDS, but also to make sure that everyone goes out and get tested. We have the at-home testing available, as well as in our facilities, we have not shut down. Come and get an HIV test if you need one.
Excellent. Thank you for that advice and reminder. Next up, if we are going to be standing around the LGBTQ water cooler, up next would be an example of that. It's what we're all talking about. And we refer to it as the hot topic of the week. And there was an interesting one this week as the University of Michigan revealed a fantastically interesting new study about gay and bisexual men. Guess what? They're having more sex than ever, despite the fact that we are in the middle of a pandemic. This new study from the University of Michigan found 63% of gay and bisexual men are hooking up in the pandemic. A full 50% of them reflected in the study that they were not aware they could get COVID-19 from their sexual partner. On behalf of Queer News Tonight, I'm a stone-faced statue at this moment of this news. What do y'all think?
I'm blown away by this, guys. I have a bunch of gay boys as friends, and I love them dearly. And I've got a few of them that are like isolating and being super careful, ordering all their groceries online and all that kind of jazz. But they're still hooking up on Grindr. I'm like so confused. I mean, there's no way you can do that safely, guys.
I'm not surprised if the AIDS epidemic in the 80s didn't stop people from having sex. This won't. You know, this is temporary, and you know, it has probably a much lower death rate than HIV did back in the 80s.
And people have cabin fever, right? How do you the highest unemployment rate in history, and so people are bored at home. It's so easy to pick up that phone and get on an app and have somebody there in a few minutes. So it does not surprise me. What surprises me is the number of people who said they didn't know they could get it through having sex. It has to be that same segment at the beginning of all of this thought that they got coronavirus from drinking the Corona
I
beer.
know. Unless you're really bad at sex, you're breathing hard. If you're breathing hard, that's how COVID is spread.
I think it's a denial mechanism.
I'm
Bad
surprised.
at sex if you breathe hard. I thought
I'm
breathing
not
hard was
surprised.
good sex.
I'm actually surprised. I'm actually surprised that they needed to actually do a full study to get this. I mean, really? Like, you needed to do a study to figure out that the boys. I mean, it wouldn't matter if it was a bubonic plague going around. But when
They
it comes
bring
to
the
dick,
rats into the bed? Is that what you just said?
ain't nothing gonna stop dick from getting in the mouth of dick hungry queens. I'll just,
So
you don't
true.
need no study for that.
But if you did the study with a bunch of lesbians, the rate would be like 2% because we hate cooties.
Unfortunately, people just don't want to be alone. The gays and the bis, in my experience, do not want to be alone. They really don't want to use toys. They just want to let it all out. And unfortunately, there's a lack of accountability. I do not think that you should deprive yourself of sex. However, take every precaution, not just condoms, but other stuff. You
Glory
know,
holes.
get tested
you put
for
in a body
COVID,
condom?
and maybe not have 4 sex partners at the same time.
Yeah. You know, I had an interesting experience Thanksgiving morning, and the guy was straight. But Thanksgiving morning, I went and got some gourmet donuts for a thing that I was doing for the day. And there was a line of people, and they were not spaced correctly. I had my mask on. Everybody had their mask on. I would not go into the shop until there was enough space for me to go in, and we were in the line. And 2 guys in front of me had his mask in his hand in the donut shop, gourmet
What?
donut shop, but was not wearing it. Every single other person was wearing it. And I politely, I swear politely, said, "Would you mind please putting on your mask?" His first response was, "Why?" That was his first response. And when I said, "Well, first, above everything else, it's illegal for you to be standing in this store without your mask on," his response was, "Well, you've got your mask on." That was his response. Instead of having any more conversation with him, I said to one of the people, they were super busy, "Would you please ask this guy to put on the mask? He has told me no, and it is illegal for him to be standing here because he's getting ready to get to the donuts and stand in front of the donuts." And they turned and said to him, "Sir, it is illegal for you to be in this shop. You will have to either put on your mask or we'll have to ask you to leave." And he finally put on his mask. And then he got to the donuts and took the mask off again. And I said, "Sir, they've told you it's illegal for you to be standing here." And he goes, "Why? You've got your mask on." And repeated it. And it was serious. It was like ignorance seriousness. And I said, "The reason you put your mask on is I hope your grandmother doesn't die from COVID-19 because the spread is him infecting his grandmother. He's likely not going to die."
You pulled the grandma card out. Wow.
I did. It's the same thing here. I just don't understand. It's December 2nd, and we're still talking about the same thing that we were talking about on April 15th.
Because remember, people are invincible. The rules don't apply to them. They are special. And nothing's going to happen to them. But why isn't the math mathing? Like, what don't you all understand? We wear masks for a reason.
Yeah.
How good were these?
And why do people have to put their mask down to talk? I can hear you, boo. My ears are great. Stop it. Really, really stop that. And the
the
mask
worst
is
thing
supposed to
working
go
with
over your
customers.
nose, not under.
Working with the public, they have their mask on, and then they come up to you, talk, and they get in your face, and they take the mask down.
my
and I'm
God.
like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop it, girl. Stop it.
I can't imagine Amanda, seriously, in terms, Amanda Austin is a very renowned drag performance artist here in South Florida, working at one of the most famous drag restaurants in the world, Lips. I can't imagine how difficult it would be to work there, to deal with people that just basically don't want, a lot of people, it's not everybody.
For the most part, our customers have been really good about it, but when, people start drinking and lose a little bit of inhibition, you kind of have to remind them sometimes. We haven't really had anybody get nasty about it, but it's just that thing where they get in your face and they take it down. I'm like, why do you do that?
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
Back
I can
up.
hear you through your mask.
Back up. All right, well, that's our hot topic of the week. We're having sex. News bulletin in the gay community. Men are having lots and lots of sex. All right, let's move on to another segment that we call Saved by the Bell. Lots of silly and important headlines in the news this week. We're going to discuss them now in our segment called Saved by the Bell. But there's a twist. We are only going to discuss each topic that I bring up for only 1 minute. And at the end of that minute, you're going to hear this bell to
love
stop
that bell.
and move on. Amanda, I'm looking at you right now. So here we go. Headline number 1. I'm going to show you some video on this too. Arizona governor live on television signs election certification live. Trump is watching it live.
Aww.
Then the phone rings with a ringtone called Hail to the Chief. Watch this.
I've got a relationship with the president, and when there's a need in Arizona, I talk to him directly. My senior staff knows this. We've had so much outreach personally from both the president and the vice president that I had to change the ringtone on my phone. And it rings Hail to the Chief because I didn't want to miss another phone call directly from the White House.
Hail to the Chief rings, down it goes. All right, here we go. I'm giving you the complete minute here. What do y'all think?
She just needs her fan to clack after that. Like,
I could watch
the
that
Darth
all day. I
Vader
love
death
that.
march.
That was everything. I mean, ring, ring, sorry, bitch. I'm busy. Can you imagine the narcissist of Trump seeing that? Ugh.
Calling to try to get him to stop certifying the election. I'm sorry, Barry.
Admit it. You guys just love watching Trump lose over and over again. I mean, this is just delicious.
On a loop.
Delicious.
It's better than French fries.
Yes.
Oh my God.
it's like Groundhog Day.
For the last 30 days, he should change it to the Death March for Darth Vader from Star Wars. Be more appropriate.
It's better than the Chick-fil-A sandwich. Oh, wait.
I mean, a lot of things are. So.
All right, there we go. It was just enough to even bring it to everyone's attention. And by the way, what president of the United States calls the governor who is certifying the election to call him to stop certifying the election right now, watching him on television and not figuring out, wait, if I call him, all of the entire world is going to know I'm calling the governor to stop the election certificate.
How embarrassing.
All right, let's move on. Saved by the Bell, headline 2. The new Elton John Barbie doll is so popular, it sold out in 72 hours completely.
Love it, love it, love it. Elton John had
Elton
a part
John.
in picking the outfit and the glasses. I love it. They're sold out. I think they ran for like $50 and now they've got them on eBay for like 150.
Wow.
Legend.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's Barbie.
It's the Barbie
Elton
doll.
John thing. Okay, I thought it was supposed to be Elton John. I was like, Elton John looks kind of cunt, honey. He looks like Beyonce. That was like
Somebody else
Elton
is going to
John.
be putting out a Twitter
Like
account.
Al Ball.
They've transitioned, apparently.
Were you anybody excited about a Barbie doll of Elton John?
Just you.
No, I'm not excited about
I love it. I love the bomber jacket. I love the glasses. I love it all. It's Elton John.
As a kid who played
Style.
with Barbies, it's yeah. Whatever.
No.
Ooh.
We'll use that. Headline number 3 in Saved by the Bell, a kind of a serious one. Christmas, a new study shows 36% of the LGBT community reflects loneliness at this time of the year. The new study reports Christmas can be painful and bitterly lonely for many LGBTQ people. What do you think about that news? We're lonely at the holidays.
Definitely.
Oh, that's why you need that's why you need your chosen family. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I had to do it. Many of my friends have had to
Yes.
do it as well. I've got friends that are brokenhearted because of their fighting with their parents over the election and all this kind of stuff. You can't dwell on that, man. Find your chosen family. We are out there. We will love you exactly like blood.
It's just going to be especially
And
difficult
I
this
can
year,
attest
right?
to that. I can attest to that. A confession, as popular as I am, and as much as I've traveled the world and been a club personality, there have been many Christmases when I don't have the crowd cheering my name, and it's just me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, and I'm
or
having,
at the time, my dogs.
by the way, I told you, me and 1,100 people got our invitations for Power's New Year's Eve party. I was required to send him an invitation. He's coming down to stay with me, and it's going to be me, himself, and I. All three of them coming down to stay with me for Christmas. In headline number 4, an LGBTQ marching band performs during the Thanksgiving Day parade for the first time in history. Let me set this up for you. The parade of Macy's was 1 block long this year. One block. That's all it was, because nobody could come to watch it on 42nd Street. And instead of having all of the bands and everything, Macy's and NBC celebrated all of the other New York parades by inviting one parade entrant, principally bands. And so all of the parades were represented. And the first one that they invited and wanted to lead off was the Stonewall New York City Pride Parade and the Pride Band, the Big Apple Pride Band, which you're watching right here. What did y'all think? Amazing.
Yes.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
They're
They made the
awesome.
best of a horrible situation this year. It was one of the best parades I've seen in years.
Yeah.
I just
I'm
want to
still
see queer
giving it a
people.
side eye. I'm
hear
giving it
Tyler.
a
I hear
side
Wait,
eye.
why the side eye?
The side eye is I will applaud this if next year when we are a little bit more out of this COVID thing, if they do the same thing. I mean, the one year that we're locked down, that's when they want to give the children the spotlight.
It takes a pandemic, right?
You know, I
Right,
haven't heard a
right.
single person say that, and I love that observation.
But it wasn't just, it was all the parades, and it would have been an injustice had they not included them this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you
Yeah,
have to look
and
at it that
Macy's
way.
did it first. The first parade that they recognized in the Macy's parade on Thursday was the Gay Pride Parade, New York Gay Pride. They were the first group to march. So
And that's probably the biggest parade next to the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Yeah, all right. Headline, we're done. Headline number 5 in Saved by the Bell. A Denver pastry chef delivers pies with a side of drag. Now, what you're watching here is, this is a popular drag queen. Amanda, take notes here. Take notes.
Ooh.
A popular drag queen is also a baker and prepares 2 pies, mini pies, and 2 quiches, and then does one number and will go anywhere you want to their home and deliver for $100.
That's a cheap
And
price.
it is blazing Denver, Colorado in terms of doing it. What do y'all think?
She is adorable. Her name is Choco Latina. I love her. We did that story for Q, and oh my God, I love it. I think the price should be a little more, but I don't know what Denver prices are. So
One of the girls here is doing something similar. TP Lords is showing up at people's houses, and she's been doing it since the beginning.
yeah.
Well, no.
But no
Again,
pie.
quiches.
But no pie.
Oh
Yeah.
no, TP! I want a pumpkin pie, please.
Yeah.
TP, I love you.
I'm a
Now-
pretty good baker. We should connect after the show. We can maybe start business.
I read on, to Amanda's point though, I read that TP Lords was showing for money, showing up at people's houses, but it had nothing to do with food or performance entertainment and drag.
Oh,
Maybe I got that wrong. I probably read.
I've seen the videos on
I love you,
Instagram.
girl.
It's a
I love ya.
performance. It's a performance.
All right, let's move out of
Shade.
Yes, a lot of shade.
Shade.
Thank you for setting that joke up for me, Amanda. I appreciate it. All right, we move out of Saved by the Bell. And of course, how do we want to end the show? We want to end it with, in the LGBTQ community, about having sex. We love sex and having relationships. So let's play another game. Our game asks, who would you do, why you do it, and what would you do with 3 different people? But maybe not all at the same time. In fact, not all at the same time. Tonight, this is our game, Shag, Marry, Chop. And our theme is, of course, the most popular thing in the world that happened this week was People Magazine's Sexiest Man of 2020. Raging debate on their choices. So let's play ourselves. This week, we're going to play with the sexiest men of 2020 from People Magazine. And here are your 3 choices, guys and girls. Michael B. Jordan, actor, of course. He was on the cover of People. And then Chris Evans, Captain America. And
Cole Hauser.
yeah.
Who?
Chris Evans looked, I haven't seen that picture. And then last but certainly not least, Cole Hauser from Yellowstone. Oh, I love that show. So let's play Shag, Marry, Chop. Let's begin. Power, tell us who you want to shag.
I want to shag Cole Hauser because I've always loved Cole Hauser. I think he's hot.
Yeah.
I definitely am going to marry Chris Evans, and so the other child gets a chop.
Michael B.
The African American man gets the shot.
Yeah.
Why is that big
You
deal?
want to say it? Y'all catch how he said it? Oh, the African American
Right?
man.
I'm like, what?
Like on Little Fires Everywhere.
I'm black. I got to guess the African American man.
Wow.
Oh, America, I'm in so much trouble. I'm going to get a phone call 1 minute after this show goes off the air.
From the NAACP.
Right?
From the NAACP. Exactly right. All right, let's move on. Faye, what?
Faye, what?
Who are you shagging?
I am shagging Black Panther, baby. Yes.
Yeah, all right.
Mr. Jordan there, he is hot. And I'm going to marry Chris Evans because if he's good enough to marry Power, then I guess he can marry me too.
Yeah.
And I'm going to kill Cole because...
No, chop, not kill.
Okay, sorry.
Chopping.
Sorry, chop. Chop. I'm going to chop Cole.
All right, and Nicholas, who are you? This is the first time you've ever played this game, right?
Yeah.
Shag is going to be...
I'm going to agree with Faye. I'm shagging Michael Jordan, marrying Chris Evans, and chopping Cole.
Okay, clearly this is the first time you played the game because I'm curious on why you're going to shag him. What is it about him that makes you want him to?
I mean, I
That's a
could borrow his abs to wash my clothes with.
Okay.
What's not shaggable about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
My question was probably the stupidest question in history.
I mean, I would lick. Never mind.
Woo! Come
Better
on,
not go there.
Nicholas. Come on.
So,
Yeah, I completely withdraw my question, Your Honor. I'm finished my
that
interrogation.
with the calendar from the firemen and then book we talked
Yeah,
about it.
it's been a good day
It's
for
gonna be
you.
a good day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
I have
good
the
day.
same taste as Nicholas. I need to go check myself out.
Yeah, and Amanda, who are you shagging?
Well, the only one I know of these people is Michael B. Jordan, so I guess I'm going to shag him, and then I'll let the other 2 have each other. But
No.
I don't know.
Can we watch
right.
that?
I really,
I love that answer.
I really don't love. I mean, I don't.
Let's
know them.
unpack this. First off, why would you? It's not just because you know him. You know
Well,
lots
he's
and lots
clearly
of
the
people.
most attractive one of the 3.
Oh, okay. So you think?
and I
he's
know
the
who
pretty-
he is, and I think he's a great actor.
Yeah.
So
All right.
that's, you know,
and
desirable.
then marrying you. See, It's Happening Out. We force you. It took me about 9 years with Power to get him to play by the rules. So hopefully I can accomplish it with you in one night.
Can you put the other 2 up? I don't even know who they are.
Yeah. Chris Evans, Captain America.
Okay, I'll say I'll marry him and I'll chop Cole.
He's like, I guess.
I love the enthusiasm for the marrying and the shagging.
If I'm shagging him, it doesn't really matter. So
Yeah,
the
you're
rest,
done.
yeah.
You're done. Got it. And Keishai, what are you doing?
Whew. I am going to shag Chris Evans because I saw those leaked pictures. Yes. I am going to marry Michael B. Jordan because I love lips, and I want to wake up every morning and plant a big old kiss on those big old lips, okay? Yeah. And chop to whoever that person is, because I've honestly never heard of them. Cole Hauser, genuinely, I just haven't, but I would love to see your work. You look cute, and I like your, you have like a nice forehead and a nice chest.
You don't hear very often. Oh,
he plays a villain. He plays a villain like nobody else does.
Nobody else.
Well, I like villains. Always have liked villains.
Now, what do you do?
It's very
What are you doing?
Oh well, actually it's very funny. Michael B. Jordan is absolutely. I love Chris Evans, and I love Hauser too. Michael B. Jordan is stunning in that picture, breathtakingly stunning in that picture. All right, well that's our game, Shag, Marry, Chop. Before we end this show tonight, we introduce our sponsor, Jet's Pizza, coming to South Florida. If you are, you've got to try pizza, and the choice for the LGBTQ community is Jet's Pizza. We're getting ready to enjoy it. This is one of the cauliflower pizzas, and it's absolutely excellent. And if you
and there's no pineapple,
and no pineapple on it. Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, that's it, America. Another week with you and the world's first and most popular LGBTQ talk show in the world. Before we sign off, let's hear from our host one more time for one final good night. And let's begin. A good night from Power Infiniti.
Well, good night, children. Thank you guys for joining us. And please remember to keep it right here on It's Happening Out, especially being that we all live in Florida and our governor is an idiot. So we might not be here very long. So you want to catch us while you can.
Yeah. And before I move on, I would be remiss, and of course I will not be remiss, I have to make note of a milestone this week. It's Happening Out, and for all of Florida and really all over the country. Power Infiniti, after 30 years in the industry, posted this week to a lot of surprise. I knew it for a while. Power and I are friends, of course, in conversation about it. But Power announced that he is making changes in his life and is withdrawing from the nightlife entertainment industry. And unless something super, super special to pull him out of his bat cave, Batman's not coming out anymore. And I just want to make sure that everybody hears that, and that we take a moment to say how much the whole world has enjoyed Power Infiniti. And he is an icon here in South Florida. He lived the South Beach days when there was glory in South Beach. And we take a moment to recognize that tremendous achievement of the career of Power Infiniti. He's going nowhere. This boy is contractually obligated to us for like 34 more years. But we take note in the transition of the amazing career that Power Infiniti has had and how much joy he has brought to the entire country and many people all over the world.
And then you'll catch him next on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Probably not. Probably not. But congratulations, Power, and we wish you great success and happiness in anything and everything that you do. Next up is a good night from Nicholas.
Just thanks for having me on the show. It was a blast. Pleasure to be here. And I want to applaud Power, too, not just on your career, but your path to get closer to God again. I did a similar journey and still am on it. So I'd love to connect and hear where you go with that.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank you.
And a good night from Faye What?
Faye What? Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, Faye What. It's always a blast to be here with you guys. Thank you for allowing me to be here again. Thank you.
One of the coolest lesbians I've ever met. Seriously.
Yes.
And good night from the amazing drag performer, Amanda Austin.
Thank you for having me, and I had a great time. I just want to tell everybody just to hold on. The vaccine is just around the corner. You know, keep doing what you've been doing. Stay safe. Keep protecting these people who are vulnerable. And you know, we're this close. We're this close.
And in that exact same vein, even at a legendary house like Lips, everything in the LGBTQ community needs your support. Come out to Lips and see Amanda Austin. It's a great experience that you will not regret. And good night from Kishai.
So thank you everyone for watching. Always a joy to be here. Want to give a shout out to all of the December birthdays. There's so many babies this month. It's insane. Really great, awesome people. Love you all. Happy birthday to each and every one of you in advance. Happy holidays.
And we're happy that all of these hosts were with us tonight. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you've watched tonight, is it important to you? If it is, you sat right in the middle of the kitchen table, right along with all of us. And it's a very tenuous time. We've gone through such darkness. We see the light on the horizon. One of the bright lights is coming January 20th. It's over, Donald. It's over. And a new world is getting ready to start, and we're excited to celebrate. And then there's also a vaccine for the pandemic. Just a tiny little issue like that. So remember, if it's important to you, it's happening out. We'll see you next Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, same bat time, same bat channel. Good night, America.
We love you.